We are live.
Hi guys.
Hello, welcome to the podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Hayley.
And for the first time in a good few weeks, we're doing a proper episode.
Well, proper in a sense. We don't have our full setup here, do we?
No, not the full setup. I have to say, it's 10 o'clock on the Thursday, 2 days before the speed moot. So, we've just been off the wall. It's been back-to-back meetings for us. You know, we've been working all day. It's 10 o'clock and we're just recording the podcast now.
Yes. Not only do we have the speed moot in 2 days, we have the Northern Pupillage Fair in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And then a little event a couple of weeks thereafter. So we're kind of busy at the minute.
A little event.
The little event is a wedding.
A wedding.
A wedding.
Our wedding.
The wedding. Yeah, so we're a bit busy,
yes.
To say the least. Hence the reason we're still recording a podcast at 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
But we are dedicated to our craft,
and we enjoy doing this, don't we?
And we enjoy it. Do you know what? What would you rather be doing?
Maybe sleeping, but
yeah,
we'll get to that later.
There's time for that. There's time for that in the future. Right now, there's more important things to do. Recording a podcast, and recording a podcast is quite fun.
Let's get on with it.
So let's jump in. Let's start by naming the episode. I'll keep it brief. We're 1 week away from being back onto Formula One numbers. So I thought I'm just doing a quick Google. Wrestlers born 1976. And a lot of them I don't recognise the names. The only one I recognised was Maven, who you probably wouldn't know him. He won competition called Tough Enough. So he was a school teacher, won a competition back in the day called Tough Enough, and that got him a WWE contract.
Oh, I love that.
Didn't last very long, but he's set up a YouTube channel now. So he's basically a YouTuber, and he's got a really, really good YouTube channel. So basically does what we do, but in the wrestling space.
That's so cool.
So yeah, so it's quite cool. So I thought it was quite apt to name the episode after him. So he's kind of, he's the speed mooting of the WWE world.
What's even more impressive, guys, you can't see this, but I can. So John's laptop is just next to mine, and you would think he had a Google page open or something about this guy. He doesn't. It's literally just a picture. All that knowledge is in your brain.
Yeah.
Like, what knowledge have you had to lose to, retain that information?
In fairness, he did a pitch. So there's a podcast I listened to. He was the guest on it about 2 days ago.
Right. Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, so in fairness, I did listen to a podcast with him on about 2 days ago.
It's quite reassuring, actually.
You'd be worried otherwise, wouldn't you?
I was getting a bit worried. How does he know this much?
I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's a great deal of knowledge that I imparted there, was there?
Yeah, that was pretty knowledgeable.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a bit worrying, isn't it?
No, it's okay, because you've just listened to a podcast.
Yeah.
But anyway,
right.
Welcome.
So welcome to episode 76, the Maven special.
Welcome.
So this one, we're going to be doing a bit of an Ask Speed Squad special. So you've sent in some decent questions for this episode. So what we're going to do is Hayley and I are going to plough through them. For those who don't know, if you're a new listener, Hayley is a commercial solicitor. I'm a criminal barrister. We both slogged very hard to get into this profession, so we know what it's like. We know how tough it is to break in. So hopefully we can impart some wisdom on life in practice, getting into the profession, and what to do whilst you're sort of studying in that postgraduate period. So strap in and enjoy the ride.
Let's go. So while John's getting those questions ready, I will just remind you, or tell you for the first time if you're new, how you get your questions into us. So there's many different ways. The easiest is to email us, info@speedmooting.com. Easiest for us, I should say.
Yeah.
That's how we like to monitor them. But you can also drop us a comment, whatever channel you're listening to this on, whether that's Apple Podcasts, our YouTube channel, Spotify. Drop us a comment in there, or you can message us. We're on every social media channel that exists. You can direct message either of us on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
However you want, all channels are monitored, and we love receiving your questions, so please do send them in to us.
We certainly do. So let's jump straight in, Hayley.
Let's go.
So, first question that we've got. How important is mooting, debating, or pro bono work in building a strong legal CV?
They certainly knew their audience when they sent that question in.
They certainly did.
It's not important at all, guys. Don't bother.
Yeah. Why would you do it? No, not at all. Do you want to start on this one, Hayley?
I would say it is very, very important. So, mooting, obviously, if you're interested in the barrister route or in any route that involves advocacy, it is the perfect one to get involved with. It's fun. It really enhances those skills that are essential.
Yeah.
Public speaking, thinking on your feet. Traditional mooting also involves things like researching and drafting, all great skills to have. Even if you want to be a solicitor, like me, if you wanted to be a commercial solicitor, it still has some great transferable skills there, and it just looks great on your CV.
Yeah.
Debating as well, very similar, very transferable skills, and in particular for those who do want to go down the solicitor route, you would be surprised how many times you're engaging in debates in, everyday practice. You may not call them debates, but believe me, when you're negotiating with the other side, that is a form of a debate.
It certainly is.
When you're in a meeting, and you're trying to get your point across, that's a form of debating. So it all comes in handy. The pro bono stuff as well. Once again, it's great to build up your skills and build up your CV, but it's also just good to give back. It feels good. I used to do a lot of pro bono and CSR work when I was in private practice, mostly just because I really, really enjoyed it. And it's just a nice way to get a sense of I'm doing something good, and I'm doing something good just because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's really good. So I would say all of them are very important.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, particularly, I'll start at the back end, so the pro bono stuff. So we both volunteered at the Citizens Advice Bureau. And as you say, it's nice to give back because, I volunteered at my local CAB, so in the same place where I live. And, you're dealing with a broad cross-section of the public and, people are coming in and, they're asking questions about a variety of different issues. But, you've sometimes got people who are, at a very low point in life, struggling, whatever it might be. And it's nice just to give back and to help out from that point of view. But I mean, pro bono work generally covers something that's legally related. So you're going to build up some form of skill base. So the classic one is the Citizens Advice Bureau that Hayley and I both did. So as a general rule, what you're going to be doing is people will come in with a problem, might be a legal problem, might not be a legal problem. It could be just I've got an issue with this bill. Can you tell me about it? Whatever. People are coming in, they're talking to you about a problem. You need to ask them questions to dig deeper, to get more information, and then give advice in a palatable way, in a way that's understandable by members of the general public. And whether you become a barrister, whether you become a solicitor, that's a skill that you need. As a solicitor, you're going to speak to inquiries over the phone. You're going to be regularly having phone calls from clients. Can you give me an update? What happens if this happens? Can you tell me about this? So you're always advising. As a barrister, and I did a post about this on LinkedIn the other day, didn't I? We have conferences with clients, so we don't have that regular day-to-day conduct, but we dip in and out of cases, and we'll sit down and we'll have a conference, and a conference is generally quite lengthy because we don't have that regular contact with the client, and we might need to ask pretty pertinent questions so that we can draft a defense statement, so that we can put documents together, so that we can give advice, so that we can construct a strategy for the case. So I think it's really crucial that you build those skills. So that's the classic example. But, there's many other examples, street law clinics, very similar situation. So you're going to build up those conferencing skills. You're going to build up people skills, which I think is absolutely essential. And then mooting and debating, I think, Hayley's covered the bulk of it, but I completely agree that whichever route you want to take, they're important. Obviously, if you want to be a barrister for very obvious reasons, you do well in those things. It shows that you're good at oral advocacy, which naturally ties into being a barrister. So when the question comes up on a pupillage application, why will you make a good barrister? Well, I did well in this moot. I won this debating competition. Therefore, I've got strong advocacy skills. Pretty much writes itself. But likewise, if you want to be a solicitor, as Hayley says, you've got the transferable skills from putting the practical legal research into practice, the drafting into practice, but also, let's say you want to be a solicitor that doesn't do any form of advocacy, whether that's a litigation solicitor, whether that's a non-contentious solicitor, whatever it might be. You can say, I've tried it and it wasn't for me. So you can say, not only is it, well, I think I want to do this, you can say, well, I've tried the other side, I've seen advocacy, it's not for me. So it shows that you're somebody who's willing to try things. So that's why I think that's really important. The next question we've had, another good one here. What soft skills separate good lawyers from great lawyers?
Communication skills is the biggest one, I would say. And it's, you know, it's a fundamental skill, but you would be surprised how many lawyers out there haven't quite mastered it. For example, when I was in private practice, I was a property litigator. And the amount of times you'd speak to the other side, and this is both, you know, written communication and communication over the phone or communication in person and mediations, etc. And they just don't have great communication skills. You know, they're so obstructive. They don't speak the right way. Like, and by the right way, I mean, you know, they're so argumentative when the aim is to reach a settlement in a case and not go to trial. Like, that's what we're designed to do. And it's a big skill that you would think, well, all lawyers must be great communicators, but I really don't think that's the case. So when you do sit down in a room, whether that's someone, you know, a partner you're working with, another lawyer, or someone in the opposition, and they are great communicators, it just makes everyday practice a better place to be. So I would say communication, 100%. And it's better for, you know, your clients, if you've got someone that can adapt their communication. So how you would speak to a multi-million-pound CEO of a tech company should be very different to how you speak to somebody, a single mother of 4 that's, you know, never worked and is about to be kicked out of her house. You need to adapt your communication to what your clients need. So it's a brilliant skill, and it's one that just comes with practice, I think.
Yeah. I would say a really good soft skill to have is being able to manage your time, manage your workload, because it's quite important. You know, let's say you're a solicitor, let's say you're running a caseload, whatever it might be. It's important because it means that you can stay on top of things. You go, right, this is important today, we need to get through this. So planning ahead, looking at what you need to do. It's important because it means that you don't miss deadlines, you're not getting stressed over things like that. And then particularly if you are, you know, a solicitor that's got, you know, the sort of billable hours type model, you know, you need to record the right units, etc. You can sort of manage that from that point of view, because I know that, thankfully, I've never really had that model, but I know that they're very keen on making sure you're getting the right number of units in a day, in a week, etc. So it allows you to sort of manage your time from that point of view, I would imagine. And then at the bar, you know, you need to look ahead, look at where you're in court, what cases you've got in, and where you can slot in the written work, the advisory work, etc. Now, I imagine as a civil practitioner, it's probably easier to do that because, you know, probably some areas of civil, I imagine they're in court every single day. Others, I imagine, less so. So, you know, you can prioritise your time from that point of view. As criminal barristers, we're in court every single day. We only really get paid for oral advocacy, so we have to be in court every single day. And so what you need to do is you really need to look at your diary and look at where you can squeeze in the other aspects of the work. And it's quite important because you need to provide a good service, not only to your lay clients, but also to your professional clients as well, to the solicitors or any other body that's instructing you. And they want to know that you're going to turn around work in a good time. They want to know that you're going to be responsive. So it's important to be able to plan ahead so that you can deal with your emails, deal with any other written work that goes along with your court practice. So I think time management is massive. So if you can really build up that skill from an early stage, then that's going to be very helpful.
Yeah. So there you go. Communication and time management make a great lawyer.
Yeah. How important is networking, and how should aspiring lawyers go about it?
Very important. Very important is the short answer. I mean, for both sides of the spectrum, if you're a solicitor working in a law firm, you need to win business. If you're a barrister, you're self-employed, you also need to win business. And it's something that we've talked about this before. You can start networking when you're a law student. It's not as scary as it sounds. It literally is just building connections. People in your class, that's networking.
Yeah.
Talk to people, find out what they're up to, find out what their interests are, connect with them on LinkedIn, connect with them on Instagram, connect with them on Facebook, whatever it might be. That is a form of networking. And the great thing about connecting with your peers is you never know where your paths may take you. So you may carry on down the legal path, they might change their mind and end up starting their own business and turning away from the law. 5 years time, they need some legal experience. You've maintained that connection with them. They come to you, they become a client, you've just won some business. So it can be that simple. And another great way to network at a junior stage is just seize every opportunity that there is to go to events, to join societies, join organisations like junior lawyers. We have Merseyside Young Solicitor Group, was it Manchester Young Solicitor
Young
Group.
Trainees Group, wasn't it?
There's a Manchester group.
There's a Manchester group, yeah.
There's Liverpool ones as well there, and they're all up and down the country. So there's so many groups that you can join. You can take a leadership role in those groups as well if you want. That's great. But just going along to the events that they put on and meeting people, don't be afraid just to introduce yourself, ask them a question, make sure you get their name and connect with them on LinkedIn afterwards. It can be that simple. But yeah, it's really important to do. And I'm sure John can talk more about the barrister route, but the solicitor route, it's expected that you will be involved in what we call business development. And the biggest way to do that is networking, even if it is just introducing someone to a partner in your firm. You know, if you're not quite at that level to win the work, you're still part of that journey. If you speak to somebody at an event, take their card and say, oh, I'll introduce you to my supervising partner, that's brilliant to be doing. And to do it at an early stage will really put you strides ahead when it comes to a successful legal journey.
Yeah, very much so. So, you know, when I was a student, I used to go to events. So my university did a thing called the bar evening. So it was kind of an evening where there'd be nibbles, drinks, and they'd get a few barristers in, one or two would do talks, and then afterwards it's all about just mingling and networking. And I would try and move around and try and chat to as many as I possibly could. Ask them for a business card, drop them an email afterwards. You know, I'd be cheeky. Any work experience going? You know, most times you're probably going to get a no because many barristers are very busy, or there's formal mini pupillage application schemes, etc. But occasionally you hit lucky, and you know, if you're going to get 1,000 no's, you only need one yes, don't you? So just keep asking. What's the worst someone can say? It's no, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just be cheeky like that. And likewise, you know, I used to go to court, sit in the public gallery, and I would look for, you know, when you're on the concourse, look for a barrister. You know, if they're sitting about, if they don't look too busy, not looking too stressed, they're not with a client, just go over, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm John, I'm a law student. Do you mind if I ask, you know, what you're doing today? Whatever it is, just find some sort of icebreaker, get in, start chatting to them. And it's amazing how many people I would speak to that way. And I actually got a work experience that way. A particular solicitor, he gave me solicitor advocate, he was in the Crown Court. He gave me his business card and emailed him that night. Within a couple of weeks, I was doing work experience there. And ultimately, he's a judge now. So, it's come full circle. I've appeared in front of him. But yeah, networking is a good skill, I would say. Now, you know, it's not vital. You know, from the point of view of if you're looking to get work experiences, obviously, you know, many chambers, many firms have blind application schemes now. So, you know, you don't need to know people. It doesn't need to be word of mouth. But it's a good skill to have. And why wouldn't you do it?
I think once you're in practice, it is pretty vital.
Oh,
though.
when you're in practice, it's essential, as you say.
So it's a great skill to start practicing, isn't it?
Well, exactly. So build that skill up, from the point that you're at university. So yeah, I mean, my advice is go ahead and do it. You're building up your arsenal, you're building up your, your contacts there, potentially getting experience. And I get briefed by people that I know from university, that I know from junior lawyers. So over the years, and also from other firms I've worked at. So I've built up such a good network over the years, that it's paying dividends now.
Yeah.
So it's a vital skill to have as a lawyer, and do what you can to build up that confidence, build up that skill whilst you are in education.
Yeah. And don't be scared of it, because the concept sounds scarier than the reality is.
Yeah.
All networking is just talking to people and following up afterwards. It really is that simple.
Last question we've had. What books, podcasts or resources do you recommend for aspiring lawyers?
So this is probably more of a one for you, because you're the podcast guy. I don't really listen to podcasts.
Yeah. So
obviously our podcast is great.
I mean, if you want a legal podcast, Speed Mooting, Partners in Crime. If you're bored of just listening to us two, then of course Speed Mooting, Conversations with Counsel, where you hear me interview some guests.
Brilliant.
So yeah, no, they're very good podcasts. We appeared on a podcast called Doesn't Sound Right. Now that's a podcast that focuses just exclusively on the role of accents in the law, but they've had some really interesting guests on there, and they touch on other aspects. So you hear from a really wide variety of people on there. Of course, Joshua Rosenberg has his podcast, his program. So it's always interesting to listen to him talk about developing areas of law. He's always at the cutting edge of what's going on. So that's a really good one to listen to.
Yeah, I know there's a fair few law firms and chambers out there who have their own podcasts as well.
Yeah.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. Sorry, guys. Can you think of any?
No, I can't actually. But I know that there are some, because you see them on LinkedIn. Chambers posting, we've got our latest episode.
Yeah. So if that's really good, if you want to listen to a podcast that's very, very focused on an area of law or on developing cases, because I think that's what they're heavily focused on. So it depends what you're interested in, I guess. And
I think if you are on the other side, so if you're looking to qualify as a solicitor, obviously it's the SQE route now, and our competitions are sponsored by BPP, and over there our point of contact is Johnny Hurst. He has his own own YouTube channel, SQE TV, so there's lots of good information on there, so check that out if you're going down the SQE route.
Yeah. In terms of books to read, I mean, you get so much compulsory reading as a law student anyway, so I wouldn't put too much pressure on you to go and read extracurricular stuff unless you really enjoy it, which, a lot of people do. The books like The Secret Barrister, you love The Devil's Advocate, don't you? There's some great books to read, and if you find your pleasure in reading, then you can get so much from reading books outside of your reading, if you choose to. We actually started in our community hub. I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. We do have a post going where we ask people to recommend books that they really liked, because we're going to put together a guide for people about other resources, but I don't want to do it and make people think, oh, more reading. If reading's what you enjoy, then we're going to have some great recommendations coming up for you.
Yeah, certainly.
Do you have any more books to mention before I just explain what the Community Hub is?
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, haven't you?
Yeah. So, Community Hub, it's relatively new.
Yeah, we've had it about 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah, a relatively new service that we launched. So, it's a free online legal community. So, anybody can join, from A-level students, university students, postgrad students, junior lawyers, everyone is welcome.
Anyone? Yeah.
And it's where we share advice, hints, tips, people ask questions, everyone jumps in and answers them. There's also a learning element to the hub, so we have lots of online courses, things like courses on speed mooting, on civil litigation, on criminal trial advocacy. You name it, we've got courses, and more courses are coming all the time as well. So it's completely free to join. We would highly recommend it. And if you're interested in the events that we do here at Speed Mooting, so our competitions, our advocacy club, our networking events, that's where all the hot news goes. So whenever we launch something new, it goes to the hub first, so that you really want to be there to make sure you get the inside scoop. And the webpage is hub.speedmooting.com. Nice and easy.
Very easy. So yeah, keep an eye on that. We'll probably be launching our next competition in the next couple of weeks, won't we?
Yep. We don't waste time. As soon as one is done, the next one comes.
Straight onto the next one. Yeah, we don't mess about.
Yeah, and we've got a few more exciting events planned, haven't we?
Yeah.
Don't think we can announce any just yet.
No.
But it's exciting. We've got a few planned just with Speed. We've got a few partnerships coming up as well, which we love. Yeah. We love to do. It's always really fun to collaborate. One that I can mention that's very closely related to this, because it's a special podcast episode.
It is.
So John teased before, we have another segment called Conversations with Counsel, which is where we have guest stars on the podcast and John interviews them. This one is a little bit different. So it is a Conversations with Counsel episode, and it's being run with
18
St. John Street Chambers. So it's their EDI committee.
Yeah.
Do you remember what EDI stands for?
Equality,
Diversity and Inclusion, I think. Yeah. So it's the theme of the podcast is breaking down barriers, inclusion in the bar. What's different about it is it's not so much going to be John interviewing the guests. It's pretty much going to be you, the audience, because we are taking questions right now, and those questions is what's going to drive this podcast episode.
Yeah.
So we're really excited. It's going to be recorded on the 2nd of October and released very shortly thereafter. So if you want to submit a question to the panel and find out more information about it, head over to our website, speedmooting.com, take a look at our events, and you will see it there, and you can submit your question completely anonymously.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, that, because, you know, even though we're sort of hosting it, I'll probably be answering some questions as well. So yeah, it's going to be...
It's not going to be... Usually we're there making the agenda, making up the questions, but no, it's all coming from you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, ask away, ask your questions.
Yeah. We've already got, I think when I last looked, like over 20 questions that have come in since we launched this yesterday. So it's probably going to keep us going for some time afterwards, I bet.
Yeah, it's going to be a good little episode, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
So yeah, so we've got that. Of course, this weekend we've got the Autumn Cup. So we're back in London for the 3rd time, BPP Holborn, or London Central as it's now known. So this is the Autumn Cup version of our National Speed Mooting competition. So same format as usual, 128 competitors in a single day, all individuals, barristers, solicitors and lecturers judging the competition. And it's speed mooting, so it's 7 minutes of submissions for each participant. Everything's provided, so we give the pre-drafted skeleton arguments, all the case law. All the competitors need to do is read it and formulate their submissions. So it's a really fun competition, very accessible to anyone. And it means that we get a good range of, you know, sometimes experienced mooters win, but also we get a good number of rookies, first timers that win the competition. So it really is a level playing field with this format. So I'm excited to run that one. It's always a fun day.
Oh yeah.
I will be doing an advocacy workshop on a form of advocacy. So it'll be interactive. I'll discuss the form of advocacy. We'll go through it with those in attendance, and ultimately I will deliver a piece of advocacy. So you'll get to see me in action. And we'll also have a Q&A session. So we'll have some practitioners there so people can ask questions of the panel. And also refreshments, teas, coffees, biscuits, lunch is going to be provided as well. So it's going to be, it's going to be a good day.
Yep. So if you missed out on that one, once again, join our community hub and make sure you can get yourself down to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got 27th of September, we've got our Northern Pupillage Fair back in Liverpool. So second time we've done this. I was talking about this for years, wasn't I? And then we finally launched it last year. So that's always going to be a fun day. It was massive last year. We had so many exhibitors for that first one. And, we had so many attendees as well. And it's just compared to last year, it's massive. I mean, you want to go on our page, speedmooting.com/pupillage-fair. You can see all the exhibitors there. It's a massive
There's
list.
so many. And we've still got a few that are hoping to join.
Yeah. So we're in talks with a few more as well. So we can always add people. I think last year we added someone about 2 days before the deadline or something. There's always ways. No, not at all. So we always add people all the time. So it's going to be a great day. So we've got loads of chambers. We've got the education providers. We've got law firms. And it's interesting because we've got some firms that do pupillage, and we've got some firms that basically offer opportunities for people who've completed their bar studies and, potential other career paths as well. So certainly some firms there that brief me, they have, lots of people that are doing really well as solicitors as well. And on top of that, we've got organisations that support the bar, that offer other advocacy opportunities, other training opportunities. So it's a really good mix.
It was a brilliant day last year, and it's shaping up to be even better this year. So we cannot wait.
No, not at all.
Right. On that note, John.
Let's end
because it's 10:30 and we need to get this uploaded so our lovely listeners can listen to it first thing in the morning.
Absolutely. And if you are listening and you are taking part on Saturday, the bundle might be out by the time you're listening to this. So best of luck in the competition.
Good luck, guys.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end. If you're still listening at this point, drop us a comment.
Autumn, yeah.
Give us a leaf as well while you're at it.
A leaf emoji, okay.
So I've enjoyed recording this one. Hayley, have you enjoyed recording it?
I've enjoyed recording it, John.
I hope you guys have enjoyed listening. If you have, drop us a comment. Tell us how much you're enjoying the podcast. Give us a rating on Spotify or wherever it is you listen. Follow, if possible, as well. That really, really helps us. And get ready for next week's episode because we're back on Formula One numbers.
Woo!
Finally.
See if you can guess who the Formula One driver is going to be. So it'll be number 77.
77.
Can you guess who it will be?
Can you guess who it is? Yeah, he's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to go. Cheerio, guys.
Bye-bye.
Enjoying our videos? Then we'd be super grateful if you could take a moment and subscribe to our channel.